Welcome to Sunday Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. This Sunday, we talked about American Express, the new play, Da Vinci Notebooks at the Goodman, performative values, elocution, living in a limited worry universe, and banning literature. The readings today at Washington National Cathedral were from Genesis. When the birds of prey gathered, Abram drove them away. And from Philippians, their end is destruction, and God is in their belly. Yet humanity is the crown of the Lord. At St. James Cathedral, Dean Barrington was his usual, wonderfully mean and snarky self. He gave a sermon that was steely and stern. Guests in attendance today included a young social worker with children from Inglewood, and I kept wondering what those kids were hearing in all of it. Dominic said the idea of the other is always entirely in counter to Christianity. And then he proceeded to list the traits of people who are always the other, including dictators, despots, and those who invade other countries without any cause or provocation. Apparently, we would have a perfect world if it wasn't for these damn other people who always seem to screw everything up. The fact that we believe this is, of course, the folly, but I'm not sure this is what Dominic really meant. At National Cathedral, Patrick Hazer preached about the Dome of the Rock, the place where Abraham sacrificed Isaac and where Muhammad stepped from the earth into heaven. At the same place, King David made Jerusalem into the capital city, and his son Solomon constructed the temple on this very site. Many early and ancient maps show Jerusalem as the center of the world, with all roads and places radiating out of it like the spokes of a wheel. Patrick said we must always be open to transformation. Transformation and reformation is something we see that happens on a particular occasion instead of as a constant unfolding process. We think reformation is something that shows up on demand, but more often we're most unaware of it when it's actually happening. Later at Coffee Hour, we talked about planning for a funeral and how many people request not to have a funeral, obituary, or any remembrance at all. And that those requests in most cases should probably be completely ignored because funerals and memorials serve the purposes of the living and not the dead. Similar to the Reformation, it's not for the benefit of the Reformation, but for our benefit. And for the transforming of loss, grief, and sadness into healing, relief, and closure. After Coffee Hour, I visited my friend Bill, who has become something of a shut-in during the pandemic. He showed me a notice that he's due for a bed bug inspection. I was reminded of Michelle, who was a member of the church that Bill and I attended for many years. Michelle was a veteran of the Vietnam War and also a transgender woman. Michelle didn't have the best fashion sense. I remember one Sunday that fell on Halloween, she came to church wearing a French-made uniform. Apparently, Michelle did not also have the best hygiene either, because a massive bed bug infestation at church was traced to her, which resulted in the church and an entire floor of office space the church was using in the Neiman Marcus building to be closed for fumigation. Not once, but on two separate occasions. Michelle was asked to leave the church and never return. I'm not sure if there is a special place in hell for someone who asks someone to leave the church and never return, but I suspect that, in fact, there is such a place. Michelle committed the most heinous of sins. No, she never said anything mean, and I never witnessed her being angry or cruel toward anyone, but she cost the church money, and that's the worst sin anyone can commit. It's completely unforgivable. At Bill's place, his TV is always on Turner Movie Classics, and today he was watching The Year of Living Dangerously. In the film, civil unrest and the overthrow of the government in Indonesia are the backdrops to a drama of not so clear choices in both love and war. At the end of the film, as the country is locking down under complete chaos, the crowds are clamoring against the chain link fence at the airport, trying to escape. When against all odds, the fence parts to allow Mel Gibson to pass through and onto the tarmac and up the stairs of the plane to be greeted by Sigourney Weaver. She's holding the plane for him just seconds before they have to leave. To the best of my understanding, Jesus did not request a funeral, yet we're celebrating his funeral almost 2,000 years later. Although it's equally unlikely for the chain link fence to be parted for us, it has been done so, and we're able to cross onto the tarmac to make our egress. And for this, we can be truly grateful. If you would like to join us at Sunday Coffee Hour, I will include my email in the description of this video, and I'll be happy to send you an invite. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.